All right, welcome back to WMAC Now with your host Chuck Stevenson, coming at you with a fight review. So we're going to Miami, Florida for Combate Global Puas versus Perez. We're going to the co-main event in the flyweight division. Number 1 ranked Combate flyweight Maritza Sanchez coming in at 3-1, taking on the number 7 ranked Dee Begley coming in at 3-1. Now on the broadcast they kept calling her number 6. I'm going by what the website says, which was number 7. So apparently they need to update the website maybe. I don't know. Anyway, really looking forward to this fight, as I was sponsored Sanchez for this fight. So I was really excited to see how she'd do, and well, let's go ahead and get into it. So first round starts. Both fighters took to the center. Sidekick landed by Sanchez. A Begley overhand was answered by 3 Sanchez jabs. More Sanchez punches were then answered by Begley. Sanchez then missed a high kick. Then there was a big Sanchez low kick. I mean, that was a really nice thudding low kick by Sanchez. And then Sanchez punches. Begley throws back. Then we had a Begley side kick. And she came forward punching. But then she ate a jab from Sanchez that stopped her momentum. Then Sanchez went with a flying knee attempt. Didn't quite stick the landing on it. But as she landed, she threw a right hook to finish it, which was really nice. So didn't get the knee, but she threw a right hook to emphasize it at the end. Begley again starts throwing punches as she comes forward. Sanchez clinches and Begley escapes. Then we had a nice push kick from Sanchez. Begley again punching forward. I like that momentum from Begley. Like, she came forward, but she was punching the whole way. Sanchez blocks a high kick and lands. As she blocks that high kick, she comes forward, like steps forward, almost like hops forward, lands a big hook to the body, and Begley's hurt. More hooks to the body by Sanchez, then some punches up top, and Begley's just trapped against the cage at this point, and Sanchez just starts pouring her on. She doesn't let up. Lands a clinch knee, then a nice elbow up top, then some more punches. Another knee by Sanchez. Begley's able to get away, circles away. She lands a punch which momentarily halts Sanchez. Sanchez takes that moment to reset. Then she lands a really nice side kick to the belly that has Begley hurt again. So again, another shot to the stomach hurts Begley. Begley starts throwing back, but at this point, Sanchez just absolutely smells blood. She starts pouring it on. Punches to the body, punches to the head, more to the body. Lands a big hook to the head, and the referee steps in right as Dee Begley drops to the floor, or actually the referee steps in and Begley just kind of collapses. Your winner, 2 minutes 45 seconds of the first round, Maritza Sanchez via TKO. Absolutely amazing body work, and I gotta say, that was impressive. I mean, I sponsored Sanchez for the channel, so I was really nervous watching this fight, and wondering how she would do. And I gotta say, I was more than impressed with what she showed in this fight. And this was a good fight while it lasted. I mean, only a little over 2.5 minutes long, but both were getting in some good exchanges. I thought Begley was exchanging well. She was coming forward with her punches, and she was landing some too. But man, as soon as Sanchez landed that left hook to the body, that was the beginning of the end for Dee Begley. One thing I saw in this fight was that both fighters employed the use of the side kick. Sanchez a little bit better, but both used the side kick, which I thought was, pretty unusual. I think, the side kick was a very underutilized weapon in MMA for a long time. But I think as striking grows in this sport, we're starting to see a lot more fighters use it more often, because we're getting a lot more fighters in that might have traditional martial arts background, or fighters who are training with fighters who have traditional martial arts background. And that side kick, that's been a staple, an absolute staple of traditional martial arts and like karate point fighting and kickboxing for years. So to see both fighters in one fight use the sidekick and one fighter use it really well really warms my heart, because I think it's just such a simple thing, but it's underutilized. I really enjoyed the mixing of strikes to the body and head by Maritza Sanchez. Really good combination work. I mean, she was going, 1, 2, 3 to the body, and then she'd throw a few to the head, and then go back to the body. And each time she was, softening the body to open up the head. And then as soon as she landed a few to the head, she went back to the body to keep the head open to go back up there some more. And the relentlessness of it too. That, more than just about anything, was just the absolute relentlessness. Like, she smelled that blood, like smelled that iron in the air, and just really poured it on. And just like I said, mixing those strikes up to just keep her opponent guessing and keep her open. Really, really nice work. For Dee Begley, it's back to the drawing board. But for Maritza Sanchez, well, she has wins by, she has a win by sub, she has a couple of decisions, and now she finally has a win due to striking, improves her record to 4-1. She can do it all now. So the big question is now going to be, what's next for Maritza Sanchez? That's something Combate Global is going to have to think about. I know what I want to see, but it will be interesting to see what Combate Global decides to do with her. I mean, she's number 1 in the division, and you have the rankings, but you don't have titles. Combate is going to have to think about that a little bit. Anyway, let's talk things to work on. So I watched the fight several times now, and I'm just having trouble thinking of something for Maritza Sanchez to work on. She used the tie plum a little bit, but seemed to use control. Like, Begley just seemed to be able to kind of duck out of it or circle out of it a little bit. So maybe just keep working on using, that what they call the tie plum, the grip around the back of the head. Seemed like Begley was able to get out of it a little bit a couple times. So I guess we'll keep working on that. For Dee Begley, obviously, got to keep going. Got to protect the body. She threw that high kick that Sanchez blocked, and then Sanchez came forward, saw the body, and just hooked it. And then, I mean, yeah, once you get hit in the liver, it's hard to recover. But you got to protect it in the first place. So definitely needs to work on protecting the body. Now for fights to make. So I looked up the rankings at combateglobal.com. So Begley, according to the website, is ranked number 7. She's coming off a loss. Also coming off a loss is Aitana Alvarez, who's at number 9. So that's not too big of a movement within those rankings. And I think that would make for a good, fun fight. So that should be a good one. As for Maritza Sanchez, I would like to see her take on the number 2 ranked Melissa Amaya. I believe Amaya is undefeated right now at 5-0. Sanchez is 4-1. Let's get that title fight made. I don't know what Combate Global is waiting on. Like, they have 3 women's divisions and 5 men's divisions. But as of right now, they only have 1 actual divisional champion, and that's at bantamweight. I don't know what they're waiting on. So come on, Combate, let's get some championships going here. I mean, I've talked about this in other videos, but let's get these titles, let's get some title fights put together. And I think your number 1 versus your number 2 is a no-brainer, especially when one of those fighters is undefeated. And both are coming off of really nice wins. So let's get that made. Sanchez versus Amaya. Anyway, those are my thoughts on this fight. Really proud of Maritza Sanchez, improved to 4-1. Happy to have sponsored her. Couldn't really make it out in the fight, but my logo's on the back of her shorts. Let me know your thoughts on the fight in the comments down below. If you liked the vid, please give it a like, and while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to WMMA Now, the best, most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.